Alright, I've had the iPhone 13, the iPhone 14 Pro, the iPhone 15, the iPhone 15 Pro, and now the iPhone 16 Pro. And I can confidently say that Apple is kind of losing it. Look, I know you guys think I'm some iPhone hater, and if it was, then why would I be wearing an Apple Watch? I mean, I use this phone alongside my Galaxy phone just to understand what all the fuss is about, and I think I've got it. Not really. I mean, I hate it. I hate it because if you ask me what I would change in it, and honestly, I can't come up with anything. Sure, I'll say crap like make it thinner, make it lighter, make it smaller, without really understanding the engineering impact of that. But honestly, it's a pretty good phone the way it is.
But you know, the phone is a tad bit bigger and I'm not too happy about it.
It's 6.3 inches now, and coming from the iPhone 15 Pro, I'm reminded that this is a bit more uncomfortable, a little less ergonomic. So why did they do it? Well, they wanted to bring the 5x telephoto lens like in the iPhone 15 Pro Max to the 16 Pro, and so that I'm guessing needed some space. But I do feel that Apple beats Samsung in terms of bezels. Look, this phone and the Pro Max, they have the thinnest bezels I've seen on a phone. It's absolutely amazing. Now, the Apple people said something really interesting at the launch event.
iPhone 16 is built to last with industry-leading durability. It is 50% tougher than the first generation ceramic shield and 2 times tougher than glass found in any other smartphone.
Honestly, that is a bit much, but if Apple is willing to be as dramatic as that, I'm going to take their word for it, so it is definitely a really strong display. Anyway, I am not trying it, paid my own sweet money to get it. That's right, we pay sometimes. But there is one revolutionary design upgrade, the camera capture button. I'm just kidding, it's actually the dual mics on this phone which do something really amazing. But you know, let's have some fun. Let's talk about that camera capture button. And I really believe this to be the second dumbest thing that Apple has done after, of course, removing the headphone jack.
And you know, I really tried to make sense of it.
I mean, even without this button, I could launch the camera from the lock screen shortcut, or by sliding on the lock screen, or by tapping the action button, or by double tapping on the back of the iPhone. And wait, these things I can do even without unlocking the phone. Once I unlock the phone, I could use the app button on the home screen or any of these widgets to get into any mode I want to in just one click, or just have a shortcut placed in the control center so I can launch it from anywhere. And I can even use the volume buttons to click photos. I mean, seriously, adding this button has done nothing but just a 10th way of taking photos and videos. Oh, and wait, there is one more stupidity to deal with. Mounting it on a phone holder has become a mental challenge. You mount it too low, it presses the capture button. A little higher, it presses the volume buttons. Even higher, presses the power button. And here I thought that Apple was a customer-centric, design-led company. Well, and it even makes using the camera and moving between different settings much slower. Plus, it's not really designed for taking vertical photos, which we do more of today. Even in landscape mode, it's not like you can reach it very easily unless you actually bring your fingers in front of the screen, obstructing your view while taking a picture or a video. And you can't even customize it. It is strictly a camera control or a camera capture button. So you can only set it to shortcuts that open the native camera or camera functions in other apps. This button is like an unwelcomed relative, you've got to stick with it. Okay. What's next? Apple Intelligence, dude, we just made so much fun of camera capture. All right, let's talk about the display. And I think it's right up with the display quality of the S24 Ultra. And you know what really shines out on these expensive displays is their outdoor visibility, color accuracy, image sharpness, and their anti-reflective nature. That is, how well do they kill the light that gets reflected off the screen into your eyes that can make it difficult for you to use the phone or look at the display in bright conditions. And I think all of that, it does really well. However, compared to the S24 Ultra, I'd say it is still more reflective. So this is kind of like the S24 Ultra display -1. Now, I want to talk about the performance on this thing, but it's also kind of stupid to talk about it. I mean, the A18 Pro chip has more power than some desktop level chips. So it's really not about how powerful the chip is on this, but what are the things that it can power? It's things that you don't get in the iPhone 16 base and plus models, like, always on display, the 120Hz LTPO screen, which Apple profoundly thinks of ProMotion. Features like 4K 120 FPS recording, so you can really achieve dreamy slow motion videos. ProRes video recording in log format for professional post processing, like, color grading. And then new to the mix, the audio mix, where you can process audio in different ways after recording, depending on how you want it to sound. In fact, using this, I shot a video last week when I was in Hawaii. Take a look. So guys, one of the things that I think is amazing about the iPhone 16 Pro is the audio mix feature. Like right now, I'm at Hawaii, okay? And there's a lot of breeze. As you can see, my hair is all over the place. And this is my audio right now. But with the in-frame audio mix feature, you can hear me a lot more clearly. You know, there's a lot of wind, but still, I'm so, the audio is so clear. And I think that's something that all the phones should now start coming with. And when I say all the phones, I mean in the Android world. Now, honestly, 4K 120 FPS, ProRes video recording, or audio mix, they're all over-the-top functionalities. Like 99% of the people won't even use it. But it's great that there's a phone that offers all of this. It raises the bar, sets a new benchmark, and it really pushes, the folks in the Android world to learn something and do it as well as this phone does. Now, let's talk about the cameras. And obviously, the cameras are absolutely great. The pictures it can take are fabulous, undoubtedly. I mean, these are pictures that I've been taking very casually as I was traveling last week, and I think they look really good. And obviously, it takes fantastic 4K videos. iPhones have been known to be the best phone for shooting videos, and I still agree with that, especially in daytime. It captures the widest dynamic range, the most natural colors, and the stability and detail that's captured is unrivaled. But that's also true for the iPhone 16, the iPhone 15 Pro, the iPhone 14 Pro, so you don't have to get the 16 Pro just for shooting videos. But here's a bummer. The iPhone photos in night light, they're a little weird. I mean, it introduces these artifacts which are kind of sad. And by the way, this is a problem not just with the iPhone 16 Pro, it's also other iPhones. The issue is it still persists. And even though Apple says it's got anti-reflective coating and all of that, but what's that really doing? The iPhone video in low light, I think, is also not that great. In fact, the S24 Ultra from Samsung and the Vivo X100 Pro, and of course now the upcoming X200 Pro, are probably a better choice if you really do want to shoot videos in low light. Though, I highly recommend that you never use a phone if you really want to shoot videos in night conditions. Now, I do want to touch upon the photographic styles that, iPhone 16 has come with, and it lets you dial the colors and the tone and practically achieve unlimited combination of filters. And honestly, I was really excited about that functionality. I thought the first thing I'm going to do is play with photographic styles, but honestly, it takes up too much of your time. The results are not even that great or as dramatically good as I thought they would be, and now I have just completely forgotten about it. I don't even touch it anymore. Anyway, let's talk about Apple Intelligence. To begin with, it's not really out yet, and I think that really ruins the experience of buying a new phone. I mean, all Apple could talk about was Apple Intelligence at the launch event. And then you go to the store, you pick up a shiny new iPhone 16 Pro, and you take it out of the box, and it doesn't have that.
Wait, where is it? Where is it?
And look, I've got it here on the iPhone 16 Pro, but that's only because I've set it to English US as a language. And that's the sad part. It's only coming to English US and then some other English languages, like English Canada, English Europe, this year. And then next year, they're going to release it in other languages in other countries, but not English India, and not Hindi, and not a lot of other languages where the iPhone 16 Pro is sold. And that, I think, is really sad. So, the biggest feature on the iPhone 16 Pro is not coming to you, at least not in a language that's native to you. And you're going to pay full price for the iPhone 16 Pro and have Apple Intelligence working for you in about a year or 2 years, depending on where you live and what language you speak. And it seems like we're okay with it. For the record, I'm not okay with that. But I think the more important questions are, should you get the 16 Pro? Is it worth it? Who should upgrade to the 16 Pro? Should you get the Pro or the non-Pro is fine? Or should you get this or the S24 Ultra or a foldable? So, first question, is the 16 Pro worth it? I mean, none of the flagships are worth it. I mean, they're all overpriced. But this time, in a country like India, this phone has launched for 15,000 rupees less than what the iPhone 15 Pro was launched. And so, relatively speaking, it is a better deal. Now, unless you're getting a 15 Pro for a much lower price, like there's a 20 or 25,000 rupee difference, then only the 15 Pro makes sense. Otherwise, the 16 Pro, relatively speaking, is worth it. Next question, who should upgrade to the 16 Pro? If you're on iPhone 13 or lower, you're going to benefit the most from that upgrade. Take your old phone, exchange it, get the exchange value, the cashback, and get this. Next, should you get the Pro or the non-Pro? Honestly, the price difference is very big. And if you don't care about 4K 120 FPS, ProRes log video, audio mix, I think the non-Pro makes a lot more sense for the price that it's at. Now, honestly, for me, I care about Pro motion. I really prefer the 120Hz display. It's very smooth. But I know a lot of people who don't really care about that. And then the photos and videos, just slightly better on the Pro. I mean, the dynamic range is better and the colors are a little bit more accurate. So that stuff matters to me. So I would go for the Pro. But again, if this stuff doesn't matter to you a lot, like it's not game changing for you, just get the non-Pro. And lastly, a lot of people ask me this. Should I get the iPhone 16 Pro or should I get the S24 Ultra or a Galaxy Fold? I think it's a really weird question. I mean, it's really more of a question whether you want to be on iOS or Android. If you want to be on iOS, then it's a very invalid question. You've only got the iPhone. If you want to be on Android, sure, the S24 Ultra, the Galaxy Fold, they're absolutely great devices, but then it's Android. Now, between iOS and Android, I really don't want to compare, but in fact, I have done a great video of what happens when an Android guy switches to the iPhone, and I'll leave a card over here. Definitely watch it. It's a great video. A lot of that stuff is actually improved on the iOS. Nevertheless, a great watch. But yeah, the question you're asking yourself is iOS or Android, and then you decide. Anyway, that's it guys about the iPhone 16 Pro and whatever I've felt over the last few weeks that I've been using it. So I thought, high time I make a video on it. Anyway, if you guys still have any questions, doubts, concerns, comments, put them in the comment section. Let's talk there. And if you did enjoy watching the video, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification icon and mark all. Really helps the channel grow. I'll see you guys in the next one.